Following the success of An American Werewolf in London, in 1982, Landis began his next project, a movie that would haunt him for the rest of his life.
A helicopter crash near Magic Mountain today brought tragedy to the set of the Steven Spielberg movie, The Twilight Zone. Actor Vic Morrow and two small children were killed when the chopper came down as they were shooting a war scene.
Director John Landis and 4 associates taking center stage in a courtroom to face charges of involuntary manslaughter.
Landis still struggles with the accident and its lasting effect on his life and career.
If you're ever in a serious car accident, have you ever been in any situation where people are killed, whether it's a car accident or train accident or military encounter or something, of course it stays with you. And you learn a lot about fate and a lot about accidents. And that was what's very hard in The Twilight Zone is to try not to become too cynical or bitter about, because so many people are happy to exploit tragedy. And you learn bitter lessons. I mean, you learn that people want to believe bad things, that it's more fun to believe that evil people went off and did this bad thing than there was an accident.
Because it didn't just go down. It wasn't. It actually spun around for a few times. What was going through your mind when that helicopter was spinning? Did you know you were in trouble?
Oh, definitely. There was a blinding flash of the explosions alternating with the solid blackness of the night, which is either illuminated by the fireball or was blackness, and we were spinning as many as 5 or 6 rotations before we came back to the earth.
And there was no way to get in contact with them. They were coming across the river when
I had no idea as a pilot exactly where we were because of the violent turns in the aircraft.
How many turns did it make?
The specialist that took the footage and did a frame by frame count estimated 5 to 6 turns, complete 360s.
So you were just out of control.
You know, if there was an accident, it's not exciting. It has to be someone's fault. And then our legal system is set up so you have to find fault. Someone was at fault because something happened. And they'll make shit up. I mean, that's the other thing that's interesting. I mean, so much about the Twilight Zone that's been written about and everything is untrue. Because it's more fun to believe that. I mean, the human nature, unfortunately, is dark, and you can profit from it. The media can profit from it. The people can try to make careers from it, and it's just lawyers can make a lot of money from it. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of things to be exploited. Television, you can exploit it. Everyone can exploit it. So it's hard not to become too cynical about this stuff.
That wasn't where it ended, though. After that, it became something where they tried to actually say that you were at fault on that, right?
Well, they came down.
Everybody was at fault.
Sure, they came down to 5 defendants with the producers of the movie, and the pyrotechnics chief and myself were named as the 5 defendants, right?
How long did the court thing go on?
It went on 6 years, Bruce.
Ooh.
Oh.
There was a pre-trial, and then that took forever, and then after the pre-trial got going, of course there were the NTSB hearings before that, and so, you know, they put us through the grill.
And ultimately, you know that the pyrotechnics actually blew up the tail roller and crashed the helicopter in your heart, and you knew what happened. But you don't know what they're going to come up with in a court case either, though, do you?
No, and we actually weren't sure exactly what had happened to the tail rotor. As it turned out, it was baked off in the heat of the fireball, which wasn't supposed to be there at the time, but you know, it was thought by many, including the prosecution. The NTSB fellow suggested at one time that a paint can lid had flown up in the explosion and taken out the tail rotor. But that was disproven. And the analysis, after it was all over, the jury decided that we were not at fault.
As a director, were you afraid that this black cloud would never go away from, you know, living in the aftermath of the tragedy and the untruths that were being spread? And
Well, you're helping. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, was I afraid of what?
Well, a lot, you know, like you were saying, that all these untruths were getting out, you know, even though...
Well, it's not, I mean, what I've learned is there's really not much you can do about it. I mean, you can't really protect yourself from lies.
I don't know, there's cartoons made about it where they had the people were in line to see the movie and people were in line to see the trial, and there was a flood of people trying to get into the trial and just a trickle of people to come in and see the movie. So,
I mean, I know what happened, or it took years to, actually it took almost 6 years to find out what happened in the Twilight Zone accident. That was interesting because nobody really understood what the hell happened, you know. I mean, now they keep saying about how some, you know, the helicopter was hit by something that was blown up. Well, that's not what happened, you know, and stuff like that. It's just, the question is an odd one because I don't know how to respond to it because am I afraid of it? No, I'm not afraid of it. Am I unhappy with it? Of course. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the Twilight Zone, that was absolutely terrifying and horrendous thing. And of course, I mean, I don't know, unless you've been in a violent accident situation or seen people killed, it's hard to, I think about it all the time. You know, it's terrible.
Right. So 6 years later, what was some of the evidence that finally came out, or? Well,
is this about the Twilight Zone, or what is this about?
No, I'm just trying to get some back, you know, some color.
Tony, no, this is not. This is
okay. We can move on.
Yes, we can.
Okay.